Y'all, this your boy Raw coming at you raw. We have a Gaming Talk episode 3 video for you guys, and I say we because my boy Fresh is back at it again. We doing this thing. Fresh, talk to the people.
Woo! What's going on, guys? It's PrinceThaGamer back at y'all with another video. Thanks for having me again, Raw. I thank you so much. It's always been fun doing these podcasts together. Yeah, guys, and we back.
We
Happy
doing
Division
this.
Day.
Oh, why you say that? Let me say this. That's actually going to be the first topic we touch on, but just to give everybody a layout of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about impressions on the Division Beta. I played a lot of it. Fresh been playing it too. We're going to go into what are our anticipated games that we're looking forward to as this year goes through for the Xbox platform, for the PlayStation platform, and for Nintendo NX if it decides to come out this year. And also, it's not a platform, but it is a platform at the same time, but it's connected to PS4. That's PlayStation VR, and also Oculus Rift. But the topic of the show after that will be the pricing of games nowadays. Like, should games be $100? And we're gonna get to that. I know you're like, what? No, but we're gonna get to that, and I have a compelling argument to support why I think game prices should go up. But I also have a compelling argument to why gaming prices should go down. But we're going to get to that topic of the show. And I'm going to have in the description my boy's Fresh Twitter handle and his YouTube link. Subscribe to him.
Yes,
Please subscribe to Gaming. Yeah.
PrinceThaGamer.
Yeah. No, I was about to say subscribe to Fresh and subscribe to me. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
Yeah, subscribe to this channel for more gaming news from console to PC and maybe even mobile, tablet, and phones. But yeah, without further ado, and before we go into that, I'm going to have all the numbers and the time. So if you want to just jump straight into the main topic, the topic of the show, then in the description you can see the timing where you can jump in on whatever topic, and we'll have it all nice and neat for you guys in the description. Just go check it there. But without further ado, let's stop dancing around this bush called the Division. And let me say this, man. The people who doubted that game's graphics, let me say this. The game looks good. Before I go and say my impressions, Fresh, you was telling me before the podcast started that it made you it ticked you off a little bit. So tell the people first your impressions of it, and tell the people why you told me that.
Oh no, actually, I was only joking around. I was only pissed off because I got killed. Ooh.
That's a stupid reason to be mad. Because
that ain't a stupid.
It's a new
reason.
game, of course
mad.
you.
Yeah, but listen, look. All right, so are you asking me what's my first impressions about the game, or why did I say I got upset?
I want you to tell the people what's your impressions of the Division. These people who didn't play it, these people only on the outside looking in, they want to hear your impressions, and you tell me, obviously, what made you mad. And if it's just you got killed, then you already told the people why you got mad.
I got killed.
Okay, then tell us your impressions.
This is exclusive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Why you said that?
Everyone, your grandmom's mom, your cousin, your daddy.
No.
I just want to say this. I just want to say this right now. The Division. I put in probably at least 30 hours into the game already. I've been as soon as I got the beta, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I played it from 7 o'clock in the morning until 3 in the morning a.m. And I'm back on it today again. So I'm not gonna lie. When I first played the game, like my very first impression, as soon as I hopped on and I can start controlling the person and I was playing with and everything like that, I was kind of iffy about it. Like, okay, like it's all right. Like the controls and everything like that. Once I start getting, deeper into the game, like I had my, like, okay, like it's okay. It's all right. I might give it a shot. I give it a shot. I keep playing more. Like it wasn't impressing me that much. And then when I started understanding it, when I start understanding the game,
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest. The division when we saw that E3 2013. I'm not gonna be long with this. When we started at E3 2013, I mean we saw it. Sorry,
Mm.
that was a different game.
Mm.
This is not the same game as that one. That's just my opinion. This is not the same game that you saw at E3. I'm not saying this game is garbage. Whatever this game is not what we seen at E3. That's not the same game. That is something else, probably the Division 2 or something.
Oh.
Because it feels like this game has a different format, a whole entirely different format than the one we saw at E3 2013. Like when they say downgrade, I can't look at it as a downgrade. I just look at this as a different game because everything from I didn't know they even had crafting in the game. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was.
I didn't
gonna
even
be
mess
like
with the
this.
crafting yet. Did you craft anything, or is it locked behind beta or
It's
full
locked
game?
behind beta. It's locked behind beta. That when I was in the safe zone and all that stuff like that's when I first dropped in the safe zone. I'm like, wow, like it looks good. It looks very good. The buildings and the sun shining on the buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It actually makes you feel like you're really in New York. Like I've seen certain streets here and there. Like I'm like, wow, this looks exactly like the same structure and everything. It's
one to one.
This is probably the best replica of New York I've ever seen in the gaming history in my life. Seriously. So that impressed me very much. The loot gear and things like that. How you find it and you need to get these certain keys, dark zone keys and regular keys. All that stuff is immersive. You got to be deep. Honestly, to break it down like this, the reason why people say this game is garbage, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because I've been on that side. I've been on the fence on both sides. I was on the other side of thinking this game is garbage, and now I'm on the other side thinking this game might be my game of the year, and I'm gonna explain why.
Oh my goodness.
Because
hold on. Let me interrupt you before you go deep in that and tell the people something right quick. Okay, look. There's many games coming out this year. This is really the first of the big ones. You know, the Division is a game that's been announced a long time ago, and now it's coming finally in 2016. So this is just one of the games. Now, Fresh is saying it might be his game of the year, but just to let you know, spoiler alert, Uncharted 4 is his game of the year. I'm just letting you know. That's the spoiler alert.
Look, this is. I know. Listen, everybody. It's only January. We're not even in February yet. I'm saying, as of right now, the Division is definitely my game of the year.
Stop it. Okay, let me.
I know.
Let me say this, y'all. Let me say, not even y'all. Fresh, I'm talking to you. No, let's not say that because look, the beta has its share issues. Because, but we're gonna get to the issues after. Let me say my impressions of it. Okay, when I first jumped in the game, you know what I mean. I'm excited because it's a new game, right? It's a new something to play, and jumping in it. And the character customization. Let me say this, man. They only got one black man in the face, man. I know it's the beta and you can't really edit. I hope they have sliders. You know what I mean? Like you can make your cheekbones and your chin and your forehead. I hope they have that in the final game because right now they don't. Obviously, it's locked behind the full game. Hopefully, they have that in the final game because character customization is important. And my whole thing is, how long are we going to be with these characters? See, I told y'all earlier I was going to compare it to Destiny because everyone is. With Destiny, you got your characters for 10 years. That's a guarantee. You got your characters for 10 years. With the Division, I want to I want to know how hard will Ubisoft push this game, because if this is Ubisoft's answer to the Division, they should let everyone know now that hey, this game is just going to expand. Division 2 comes out, you don't have to restart nothing. You just carry on and move on with your character, because that's how Destiny's going to do it. You carry on your character throughout all the games and whatever expansions. So that's one thing that I was thinking of while playing it. Impression wise, I'm like, I hope this game carries on.
I'm gonna tell you about that too.
All right, but moving on. After that, the cutscene dropped and they told us that they took out the first mission. That wasn't even the first part of the game. So I'm curious on what is the first part of the game. Like they have an opportunity to blow us out the water because that girl has an eye patch. She damaged her leg. So I'm thinking first part of the game, you and her running, and just like in Destiny when you first come out of the ground that ghost spawns you have that single player experience until you go to the tower when the multiplayer opens. And I bet you that's basically MMO 101. 101, you start the guy by himself
Yeah.
and you carry on. So the first mission, I'm curious on how that happens and how it
Right.
goes down. So that was, I'm thinking like the story at the end of the day is straightforward. All right, New York gets attacked
Mm-hmm.
by dirty money. Literal sense, like this money was sick, and making people throw up and die and all that crap. Um, the next impression was the graphics. My whole thing was I've been seeing this game on Xbox One through the last few days, so the graphics on Xbox One, let's just get it out there, okay, guys. The PS4 is stronger than the Xbox One. Big whoop. I'm sorry, guys. Xbox fanboys. Look, I used to be one of you. I used to be an Xbot, but now I'm an Xbot, EXBOT. But anyway, the graphics in the Division on PS4, like not only can you customize settings in the graphics in the settings fresh. I don't know if you knew that. You can go in the settings and you can change the sharpness. You can change the motion
Yeah.
blur. You can make the game look better than it is, and that's crazy. A console game letting you treat it like a PC game. You know how PC games you can customize the graphics, but
Right.
graphics on point and like that's just graphics on point. The story, I know. I look, man. Don't trust man, bro. They'll fail you multiple times. I just hope
Mm-hmm.
that the story, um, because my impression of the single player is that right, the game can be played as a single player game. I don't know because first I don't know if you jumped into the division with a friend or not, but I jumped into the division by myself and was going through the story and all this stuff by myself. And dude, you can play that game by yourself. So Colin Moriarty, this game might please you. Just saying, because I know how you were looking at the division. And if y'all don't know who Colin is, he does a podcast called Kind of Funny. P.S. I love you XOXO, and y'all should definitely
Yeah.
check them out on iTunes. That podcast is on point. Shout out. But anyway, yeah, this game could be
Um.
played single player. First, did you
Yeah.
feel that same way? Do you think this game could be played single player?
I played. All right. This is what I wanted to do. Just
Mm,
because like I feel like it was appropriate to do. Like I played. I played all the story. I went in
mm,
the dark zone. I did everything that you could do in the division and single player,
mm.
and then I did it in the multiplayer. I did
Yeah.
it with friends and a whole group of party people, stuff like that. Now it would. I don't think it matters. Both. It don't matter how you play,
Mm,
multiplayer or single player. I think you'll be happy doing
mm.
either or.
Yeah.
Just like that because of the way the gameplay is and the content they have in the game. Like there's much things that you could do in the division. I could tell.
Yes.
Like along with this is only the beta. I'm still on it. Like I never played on the last game I played 30 hours straight was GTA 5.
Mm.
That was the last game when it first came out. This right here that explains a lot for from the division me playing it. I think it's a very good game, single player and multiplayer. And as for the story, it's better than what I expected to be.
Mm.
It's better. It's better than what I expected.
And that's why you're holding it really high as far as game of the year
Yeah,
candidate. Um,
yeah,
the next thing I want to talk about is the Dark Zone. You said you did the Dark Zone by yourself. I jumped in the Dark Zone by myself, and son, look, I have videos on the division on this channel. Please check them out. I'm gonna leave them in the description. And like the Dark Zone is where I think the game can be like a brand new concept to console
hmm
gamers because we don't have access to like PC games like DayZ
right.
and PC games like Rust. Now Xbox One actually has. I think Xbox One can do. I don't think Xbox One can do Rust, but definitely I know it could do Arc. But anyway, the division can do. It is in a position to do something really great with the Dark Zone, And my whole thing was with the Dark Zone is that intensity it brings. Fresh when you jumped into the Dark Zone, like when I jumped in, I was like what was
Bruh.
your Dark Zone experience?
All right, my Dark Zone experience. I'm gonna say this right now. It was kind of like, all right, before I went to the Dark Zone, I wanted to at least get to level 6 because you start out at level 4. So I went to the Dark Zone at level 6. Now,
Mm,
while I was on my journey, getting ready to go to the Dark Zone, it was feeling like I was about to get on a big roller coaster because my stomach was like twirling because I knew people was talking about the Dark Zone, and when people talk about the Dark Zone,
mm,
it's like the name itself kind of like frightened me. Like, okay, the Dark Zone, what I'm gonna see in here? So you walk through the middle, the safe zone part where you get your restock ammo and stuff like that, and you can buy stuff before you go to the Dark Zone. Now, I did all that, and as soon as I, entered the Dark Zone,
mm.
it was dark. It felt the dark. It felt weird. It felt creepy. It felt like I gotta watch over my back all
Yeah,
the time. Like I
yeah,
didn't trust people. People didn't trust me. I had to use my emotes a lot. Like that's one thing I do like about this game too. You use your emotes are useful because people wants to know if you're friendly. I made
yeah.
plenty of friends on this game just for doing
Already.
those emotes, and they're like, okay, like we inviting this guy to this party, our group, so he can run with us. So
Mm-hmm.
like things like that. But I I recommend everybody to at least be at level 8 before you get to the Dark Zone. Because when you're at level 8, you get to there's certain gear that you can get at level 8, and while you're maxed out. I'm maxed out in the Dark Zone level, which is 12.
Mm.
It was pretty hard to get to. What I didn't know in the Dark Zone before I get to the gear, when you die, you actually rank down. You
Yeah, you
rank
lose
down
money.
if you die.
You lose
Yeah, you lose money
the
and you
dark
rank
zone
down.
money. Dark zone money.
Mhm.
Not your
Yeah.
out of the dark zone money,
Yeah.
your dark zone money.
So anybody who's like, kind of on the edge about the Dark Zone and they don't like it, I recommend you to stay in the Dark Zone for a while and get to level 12 or get to the highest level you can so you
Yeah.
can get better gear, better, guns and stuff like that because now I can compare it to Destiny. Now that I've played it,
Mhm.
this Dark Zone
Yeah.
I think it's the core element to the Division,
Yes,
and
yes, in my
it's
opinion,
it's
I
it's
agree.
it's it's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
good. Like
yeah.
I I'm sorry to cut you off. It's a good thing because I can leave the Dark Zone whenever I want to.
Mm.
Like I can feel safe, or if I want a little bit of excitement, I go to the Dark Zone. This game
Yeah.
has its small, mediums, and its large qualities.
Mm.
This game is really it's immersive. In my opinion, man, it drives me insane. Sometimes, the crazy part with the health and all that stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. We probably
Mm.
already talked about 10 minutes of the Division already.
Let me say
Go
this.
ahead.
Let me
You
say
got
this
anything else to
fresh.
say?
Let me
I
say
go
this.
all night.
As our initial and our impressions of this game, just to cap it off, because
Yeah.
we're gonna do impressions of the division on our own channels. Like I said,
Yeah.
Fresh's channel is gonna be in the link in my channel. Subscribe here for it. Tune in for that. We're gonna do our own impressions
Right.
on our own videos so we can really express the long version. If maybe it might be shorter than this
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
both trying to share our experiences together. But I hope this impressions helped you out with your deciding factor on what the division is and what it's trying to do. But before we move on to the next subject, closing capping, capping off this, the division, bro. Um,
Yeah.
if you were to give it a score, the division review, if you were to give the impressions a score of a 1 out of 5, and we didn't really talk on the cons of it. Let's just give a
Uh-huh.
number, and we could talk about the cons because we have,
Okay.
go a
All
number
right.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. All right. I'm gonna get
What
this
you
out the
think?
way real quick. I think you got to understand this game for you to actually, get into it. Just understand it first and give it a chance.
Mm.
But what number would I give it? I think mm, I give it a solid 8 because it's the beta. I
Wait,
give it a
wait,
solid
a
8.
one out of
What?
five is like what?
Oh, I thought you 1 out of
I'm like,
5.
dang,
My
this dude
bad.
loves the division, bro.
No. Oh man. I'll give it a solid 4. I'll give it a
Okay.
4.
Oh,
Definitely a 4.
okay, let me say this. I will give it a 3 because let's say our cons right quick. The one con that, like I said, is this game gonna have like I said, the dark zone is its legs. I say the dark zone is gonna be where players like me who love PvP over PvE are gonna be at. I'm a PvP player. You know what I mean. Like like the PvE elements of the game is cool and all, but I'm a PvE player at heart. You know, but I say they can improve on the Dark Zone, and we don't know the full game, so we really can't say what we played is what the Dark Zone is, because the final
Hmm.
game can, like, oh, here in the Dark Zone, NPCs pop out of nowhere. Son, NPCs should be not everywhere, but in most places in the Dark Zone, because I don't know if you ever just walked around the Dark Zone and it just be empty. Now, look, the graphics are amazing, the mood is set, everything looks great, but it's empty. And I would like to see NPCs, like enemy NPCs, chilling just like in the normal outside the dark zone. In the dark outside the dark zone, bad guy NPCs be chilling in certain areas, but in the dark zone, I would like to see that in there. I would like to see just NPCs walking down the street together and they spot you and they just like, hey, get them or whatever. I want to see more
Yeah,
enemies
yeah.
in the dark zone because it's big enough to have players versus PVE versus you. Yeah, it's big enough to do that. What's your con?
My con is you can't kill the innocent people. I mean, I'm
What?
not saying that to I'm not saying that
Oh,
to be
fresh.
like,
You're
because I'm
right. No,
messed
no,
up.
no. You good?
But
Yeah, go ahead.
it's just the fact that like it's just fake. If I shoot somebody, they should die or be hurt or something like
And you
that.
know what
Because
should
if I can
happen?
give you food, if I can
Give you
interact with
food.
you and give you food,
I
why
should be
can't
able
I
to
shoot
kill.
you? You
Son,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
so
Like,
right. Because look, this game is rated
right,
M for mature. And not only that, son, what if they
no
outside
blood.
the dark zone? Check this out. Outside the dark zone, you can go rogue outside the dark zone, and then NPCs like policemen or the soldiers, you go
They'll
rogue
come
for
get you.
them.
It's
You
kind
know,
it's kind of like having a
like
like
GTA
GTA
Five
a little
Star.
bit. Yeah, yeah.
Son, that
So
would be amazing. And then you'll have a bounty on your
yeah,
head, and the bad guy NPCs see the bounty and say, "Hey, you're a
yeah. See,
rogue agent. I'm gonna get you for money or whatever." Dude, that would be so
have some
epic
type
if
of
they. Mm-hmm.
have some type of what you call it, theft, not theft, what you call it,
5-star
infamous
system,
infamous level
infamous
of
rating. Yeah.
yeah, infamous level of crime. They should add that outside, because the dark zone, you can do whatever you want. There's no order when it comes to the dark zone. So, and my second one is there's no blood. If I shoot somebody while they're on a wall or you running, blood should splatter on the wall if I shoot you near a wall. Things
Mm.
like that. I pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
Blood on the snow. That would be
Mm.
pretty cool. If they add
Yeah.
something like that. If somebody's wounded or something, how when they crawling, add blood on the snow while they crawling away and have it
Mm.
leaking on the snow and
Yeah,
making the
like your
graphics
your
very
character.
cool.
Exactly.
Um, Another thing, cars don't blow up. I know they don't got gas in them, but when this
If
this
you
could
throw a
be,
grenade at a car, exactly.
yeah, it doesn't blow up. I'm pretty sure one car has gas in it, or a gas station you can shoot at it blows up. That'd be
Mm.
pretty cool. I know it's not GTA, but I'm just adding my things in here. Another thing, while I'm hiding from somebody, like I wish they add this in here. If I'm hiding from somebody or an NPC, whatever, I wish I could just like hide in one of their cars. I could shut the car door, but I
Dude,
wish I
that
could
would be
hide in the
so
back
epic.
seat
Like
and
get in a
then,
car,
hide in the back seat
yeah,
and then the door is closed. But
and
when I
lean
when I
back.
press L2 to aim, the door opens. Like
What
that
about
right
it going in
there.
first person? You in the car in first person,
Yeah,
you hear a heartbeat,
there you
you hear
go.
your heartbeat, and you can see the guys walking past the window. Son, like you know
Yeah,
how we
things like that.
before we were talking, you were saying it got some survival elements. That would be the survival element, and like
Yeah, that's the survival
the
element.
whole gone rogue outside the dark zone, and you hiding in cars because the police are looking for you. Not the police, but the agents that are still active
Yeah.
or whatever. And obviously, a
Uh-huh.
single player outside the dark zone, unless you invite players with you. Oh man,
Yeah.
that would just be so
Yeah,
cool.
I'm
Like,
I'm
yeah,
I'm a yeah, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
no, that would be so cool.
Yeah,
But
that'd be cool. But
look,
another,
we're
I'm sorry. I know
past.
we about to close it up.
Yeah, we
We
gotta
about
close it off.
Yeah, yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, look, we're gonna close it off, but like I said, y'all, we're gonna put our own impressions on on our own channels and check that out later
Yeah.
when it's released throughout the week. Division content. Keep it locked here. What is our most anticipated game for Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo? Next console. It might just be
Oh.
the next console, but let's start off with the Nintendo NX. Fresh. I want you to go off with your anticipated game for Nintendo. I'm gonna go off of my anticipated game for Nintendo this year, and then we'll go move on to PlayStation. We'll leave Xbox last.
Oh man, that's a good question. NX, man. Yeah, honestly, I don't believe it's gonna come out this year
Yeah.
because the Wii U. Look, the Wii U just dropped 2012. I know they
Mm.
said. I know they announced that it was coming out this year, but I think if they could do it this year, it's not going to be what they want it to be. Now look,
Mm.
Nintendo NX. Ah, if it's going to be a portable console first and then the home console in 2017, hey, I guess that's a good idea. I don't know what type of business moves they're making. It might, it's Nintendo. They're innovative when it comes to business moves and making new technology. So whatever's in their hands, leave it in their hands. Games I want for the NX already. Two games I'm already
Mm.
anticipated for it that I will get day one if I get the NX.
Mm.
Smash Brothers, which they said is going to be a launch date, a
Mm.
launch title. I'm sorry. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. That's like
Mm.
Uncharted coming out for PS4 day one.
Mm.
That's a very big deal for Nintendo, for the moves they make, and they actually, I'm actually glad. It sounds like like they stepped back and looking at what Sony and Microsoft is doing with their consoles. Like they only release for some reason. It's like an annual thing. Like
Mm.
consoles release like titles like simple games like oh we just want you to know the controller like I
Mm.
don't want to give you a AAA title yet, like wait till the summer. No, I want like titles like that. We already know how to play games. We play
Y-
AAA title games every day. Like
Yeah.
why can't we just I know it's a new console, we're gonna get to know the controls and the controller, but Smash Brothers is a big deal, for Nintendo to actually drop something like that, man. And for years we wanted something day one for everybody to play. Now, when they say
Mm.
it's going to ship 20 million units, man, now when they say they're going to, drop Smash Brothers day one on launch day for NX, yeah,
Yeah.
it will. It would definitely drop, have 20 million units, not
Okay.
in one day, but that's that same year.
Let me say this. Let me say this about the whole Smash Brothers thing. I'm excited for that too, but I really think it's just going to be a port from the Wii U, just an upres version. I really do because you gotta understand this Smash Brothers for Wii U just got made, and the
Hmm.
what those little toys, those things
Those amiibos.
amiibos, yeah, like they big on that game, and I think that
Uh
they're really just
huh.
gonna port it over. I think most of the NX, if it comes out this year, will be ports from the Wii U, and that brings
Wii
me
U.
to my most anticipated game, and it came out last year. It's Xenoblade Chronicles. I just want to play that game, and if the NX can play Wii U games, bruh, that's the game I want to play. And
Yeah.
Mario don't excite me. Now look, Metro. Am I saying it right? Metroid
Metro
Prime.
Prime. Metro
Yeah,
Prime.
like that. That franchise excites me because I used to play that on my
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance. But
Yeah, but
but
Zelda is another one
Zelda,
too.
man, Zelda doesn't excite me either. To be honest with you, like I'm not. I
Oh,
wasn't
whoa,
one of those
whoa. Did you
guys.
see that 2012?
I know
That
I seen it.
2012
I seen
trailer?
it. Yeah, I seen it. It looked amazing. But I'm telling you right now, you know what I mean. Like, um, I wasn't one of those guys who grew up riding the Nintendo horse. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with no
Yeah.
games. You know what I mean? Like back in the day we couldn't afford it, but now we can. Now I can. And gaming is an expensive hobby. Put in the comment section, please. Let me know if you guys, know that. All right. First of all, put in the comments like what your most anticipated game of this year is, and if you only have a PS4, say PS4. If you only have an Xbox, say Xbox. If you only have Nintendo, say Nintendo. But yeah, I wasn't riding on the Nintendo horse, growing up.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why. But other than that, I
Mhm.
think that Xenoblade Chronicles are all those games on NX. If it comes out next year, it's going to be ports from Wii U, and that's okay with me because I didn't have a Wii U last gen
I mean,
or
ports
this
from the
gen
Wii
either.
U. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, they do that. That'd be cool, but
Hmm.
man, we talking about innovation. If they could play Wii U games, I mean Wii games on the Wii U, then I don't think they should. Okay, you know what? You're right. They should add all Wii games, even Wii U games on the NX.
Yeah,
That's
because
cool.
then that
Since they
backwards
having a tablet
compatibility.
too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and since they having the like a little handheld thing they coming out with, okay, I can see if they got the Wii U games on the tablet, then they gonna have a tablet for the next one. Then yeah, it should be backwards compatibility. Yeah, definitely.
All
It
right.
makes sense.
All right, let's move on to the next consoles. We gotta move to this quicker. I said quicker.
Yeah.
I was trying to say quickly, but quicker and quickly, I was quickie. Anyway, uh,
Woo!
oh, let's go on. The next game system is PS4, and Fresh, go and tell the people what you're most anticipated for the PS4. You already know what I'm gonna say. Oh.
Listen. Now, to all the fans out there, I know they're gonna be like, "Oh, he tripping," and he gonna say this. My most anticipated game of 2016 is The Last Guardian, and I'm gonna tell you
Mm.
why. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't say Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I'm just
Because
kind of shaking my head now,
each year, each time Uncharted
scratching
came
my
out,
head.
um, Uncharted is always impressed me, always,
Mm.
and I just feel like it is already done. Uncharted 4 will definitely amaze me. Like I already got chills talking about it. I mean,
Mm.
it's already done. It's Naughty Dog is so talented. Congrats to them. They successful people. They deserve it, man. It's Uncharted. I'm glad this is the end. Like I didn't pick it my most anticipated game of 2016 because I already know it's going to be good. I already know what it's hitting for. I just wanted to give another game a chance this time, and that's The Last Guardian.
Mm.
I think it deserves it. It's because it's been in the making for probably 10 years. Okay,
Wow.
like it been delayed countless times. Probably
Mm.
been delayed more than The Division, every
Mm.
game combined. So it's like
Yeah.
I gotta give it to The Last Guardian and
Yeah.
what I've seen in E3. I was kind of impressed, and I'm definitely excited for it, man. Like that's going to be something different. It's a different adventure game.
Mm.
I'm hyped for it. I don't know if it's coming out this year. Hopefully it's coming out this year, 2016. Um, and yeah, that's mine.
And
Definitely, I'm excited
mine's
for it.
and mine's without a doubt is No Man's Sky. Why? Because I'm a sucker for sci-fi. Look, when Mass Effect 1 came out, when Mass Effect 1 was even announced, son, I followed that game like a hawk. I was amazed by what they were trying to do with it. They talking about having a whole universe and you could fly around and go to different planets. Son, Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 was definitely innovation. Really, it was the first game I ever played where it literally carried on through part two and three. Right, like everything, all the
Yeah,
choices I did
that game definitely opened doors.
it did open doors really wide. And look, we talking about No Man's Sky, planet-sized planets. Look, Mass Effect had huge planets to explore. They had about over 60 planets to explore, and each planet was as big as like half of Grand Theft Auto 5. You know what I mean? And now look, granted, it was empty. A lot of it was empty. It was just open space, rocks and cliffs. But son, to a young man like me back in the days, man, that was mind blowing. But at the end of the day,
I still
um,
gotta play those.
you still, yeah, man. I hope they come over once Mass Effect Andromeda, or however you say that name,
Yeah,
drops.
that's what I call Andromeda.
Andromeda. But going back to No Man's Sky being my most anticipated game, sci-fi, man. I'm a sucker to that. And No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
the promise of giving us a universe to explore, and hopefully it pairing with PlayStation VR, man. Man, the hype,
Mhm.
the hype. I don't want to hype it up because hyping something up is never good because then your expectation goes over what you should have because we all don't want to be disappointed. But yo,
Yeah.
No Man's Sky is my anticipated game, most anticipated game for PlayStation 4, and my runner-up is Mass Effect Andromeda because I'm a Mass Effect fan at heart. And hopefully
Mhm.
that game don't disappoint. Hopefully it goes ham in the paint. And my runner-up to that is probably Fresh's runner-up, and that's Horizon. Hopefully that game blows us out the water,
Horizon.
being an open world, dude. An open
Yeah.
world PS4 exclusive.
It's coming out this year.
a PS4 exclusive that's
right?
open. And look, Infamous was open world too, but it wasn't as big as we would like it. You know what I mean? But it was
Yeah.
as big as it needed to be. To be honest with you, I think the problem was with the character. A lot of people didn't connect with Delson Rowe.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Horizon Zero Dawn. They said it was making it way before Killzone Shadowfall, and
Mm.
I was happy that they said that.
I hope
It's going to
they,
be big.
yeah,
They talking about the Witcher 3 numbers, so it's
man.
supposed to
It's
be
a
competing with the Witcher
PS4
3.
exclusive.
So
That you know what that means? That means that
exclusive. Oh my
that
goodness.
means they can just worry about the PS4's infrastructure and they don't have to worry about no other console, no other platform. They just say, man, dude,
Yeah. Hey,
look.
yo, that's
You
gonna
saw
be
how
crazy.
Infamous looked, and that was a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Just and now with more time between, when the launch of the PS4 happened, and more developers got their grasp on how to do the PS4 right. But anyway, going to the next platform, and that's Xbox. Xbox One has some games coming out this year that are at least they earn a place on an anticipated list. Fresh, you go first.
Yeah. Um. Uh.
You got 9 minutes. Got 9 minutes, Fresh.
Alright, my most
Leave me some.
anticipated game for Xbox One is definitely Quantum Break. Quantum Break, man. Look, let me say this. First
All
of all,
right,
the
we're
graphics on
gonna end
point.
this podcast right now. I'm just letting
Don't end it.
the
Don't end it.
quantum
Don't end
break.
it.
What?
What you mean?
Man, let me say this. That might be as generic as the Order
I'm gonna tell you.
1886.
Look. I'm gonna tell you why I like it. I'm gonna tell you why I like it. First of all, Xbox. I'm sorry. You know what? Never mind. Let me scratch that off. I forgot Gears of War 4 was coming out this year.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, I'm
snap.
sorry. All right, Gears of War 4 is definitely my anticipated game of the year. Man, I like Gears of War 3, 2, and 1. Judgment can go sit down somewhere. Sorry. But yeah, I ain't gotta say too much about that. You already know. It's Gears of War, baby. It's coming.
Gears of War, and
Might get Xbox
look,
One
it's
just because of that.
look, stop it. All right, look. You can say Quantum Break because that might actually be fun, slowing down time and kicking people in the face.
Slow down time.
Yeah, but that's actually my runner-up.
That's the
My
runner-up.
first, yeah, that's definitely a runner-up. My most anticipated game on Xbox One is Recore. The game made, shucks, who's the studio behind that? It's at the end of the day, I know the
2017.
writer. The writer, no, it's not gonna be. Oh man, if it comes out this year, that's gonna be amazing. But if it don't come out this year, hey, more power to
It's
them.
okay.
Make that game right. But the reason I say that is because it's a writer from the Halo, Bungie's Halo games, and he's in there, and he does great work on the story back in the day with Halo, and I hope that Recore blow everyone out the water. I hope Recore is a game that Microsoft, can get behind and say, this is why. Xbox is relevant, right? Because right now a lot of people are like, make all Xbox games go to PC. Xbox needs to stay relevant because if it doesn't, then PS4 and Sony, they're just gonna monopolize everything. We need a gaming console in the fray. That's why we named 3 Nintendo and X. Hopefully that steps up to be a contender in this race. But going off of that, the next topic is something actually that you guys should stay tuned for, and we're gonna take a break, but for you it's just gonna be a second. We're just gonna stop to make sure we're still recording. Always have to do that to make sure all what we said isn't lost to the ether. So hold on, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and the next part of our podcast, okay, is wait, before we get there, Fresh, you know what time it is, right?
It's over here is 9:43.
No, dude, it's not. No,
just
not
playing.
literal. It is
What time
topic
is it?
of the show. All right, look, topic of the show: gaming price should go up or should it go down? Remember, guys, you're with us on this thing. Please leave a comment. Please like and subscribe to our channels. And thank you if you stayed this far in the video. We appreciate you. Put a
we
comment
appreciate it.
and, do you, probably everybody's going to say, we want prices to go down, obviously. But let me say this, guys. Businesses need money. People need to be fed. children need to go to college, and wives need to be kept. And a wife can, you can't keep a wife with just love and hugs. You need some money because that kind of worrying of the bills makes her all tensed up. At the end of the day, these developers need money. These businesses need money. Businesses, they make businesses to generate money, and that's why the price of gaming has shot up through the roof. And I'm talking about development wise. They're still $60, and it's been $60 for a while now. I'm gonna say this statement: games should be out of $90. Man, I want to say no. I'm gonna just stick on 90. It should be 89.99. Games should be 89.99, bro. Why? Because games are getting more expensive to make, and not only that, it might even take out the fact that these developers that are selling their games for 60 trying to get more money with season passes and stuff. Because
Thank you.
Lord
Yes, I was
knows
about to say it.
you be wanting those season passes. Like, okay, with Destiny, all right. If Destiny was a night was 89.99, if Destiny out the box, that's the price, 89.99, son. They would have to sell you. They would have to sell you on it. They couldn't sell you on a poo-poo story. They couldn't sell you on just gameplay. They couldn't sell you on in-game content that falls off the cliff. They would have to sell you on an awesome story, and the first guy reviews it. If that game got a 70, nobody in their right mind would buy that game for 89. And that might be a loss for them. That's their fault. Make a good game. You know what I mean? Don't put out crap for 89.99. If 89 was the base price for games, all right? Now look, gaming shouldn't have microtransactions in it. You paid $60 for it. You shouldn't have to pay anything else. Like back in the day, I remember Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man games. And actually, it was just Spider-Man 2. Or no, wait. I'm trying to think of a Spider-Man game where you unlock skins. You play the game and you unlock skins. But nowadays, you gotta pay for skins. Now, Fresh, I'm gonna ask you this question, Fresh. Do you think games should become more expensive or cheaper? But let's just stay on the expensive side. This is the topic of the show. We're gonna get
Yeah.
to the other spectrum of the list. But as far as how would you justify a game being 89.99? Or
So
or
we just
what
we just
price would you think? Would you think 100? Go for it, bro.
we talking about on the expensive side.
Yeah, on the expensive side. We're gonna do expensive side, then
All
we're
right.
gonna justify cheaper side.
All right, on the expensive side, you already know, like games like The Witcher 3,
Mm.
like games like that, like it shouldn't have been. Listen, we got it for 25. Now that's definitely that's like a steal. That's like punching somebody in the face and taking
That's
their money and
no, that's
getting
low
away with
blow,
it.
bro.
And actually, yeah, that is a low blow. Honestly, that listen, if it's expensive like that, I think $100, a
Mm.
hundred and something dollars,
Mm.
not over, definitely not over
Maybe
120, because that's
99.99.
already 99.99. Yeah,
Mm.
$100. You know what? Definitely, yeah, $100, and I'm gonna
Mm.
explain why.
Mm.
Um, like you said before, season passes and stuff like that won't be coming out at a later date. DLCs over. That's the death of DLCs. If I'm
Yep.
paying $100 for a game,
That's it.
everything, all the content should be already there. Like
It's
Uncharted
over.
4. I paid $115. I got the collector's edition because it's the last game, and I felt like I didn't waste my money. I felt like, oh, like I felt normal, like I was paying for a regular $60 game. It's because, like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's gonna be really good, but we ain't talking about that. But look, I feel like all right. This is what I'm trying to say. I felt comfortable spending that much money on a game
Mm.
now because the graphics, and I know how much work they put into the game,
Mm.
and that's what I want. So it could, like I said, I can't say the other side right now because we talking about the expensive side. Like
Mhm.
I said,
Mhm.
that's the death of DLCs. That's the death
That's
of
the
the season
DLC.
pass, and that will
Exactly.
actually that will motivate the
Developers to go
developers to do
ham in the
more.
paint.
You know, if
Ham in the
we get
paint.
$100 a game, oh man, I'm gonna go ham when it's gonna be all night, babe. I see you tomorrow morning. Like
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I mean. So that could do a lot of good for the
Yes.
developers
Yes.
because sometimes when you see small games and like the division, like the downgrade thing they talking about, if they had more money, which they probably
Mm.
already got a lot of money, some of these games probably would have have, good graphics and, things that we want in games if they
Mm.
had the money. We just don't know their financial situation. So we
Yes.
can't be like, oh, it's their fault. They don't want to work. Why they, have booty the game? Like, they probably don't have enough money for it. And so when it comes to being a game being $100, hey, though I think it should go up. If it goes up, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. If you
Yes.
create a game that's $100 worthy, yes, I'll definitely
I'm gonna
buy
buy
the game.
it. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about AAA titles. We're not talking about freaking Minecraft should be $100. Nah. Now, if
Oh
Minecraft is
no.
$100, that game better be a universe that you can that you better be able to build a ship, leave the planet, and then go to Mars and have a whole nother experience. And these gaming consoles should be
Yeah.
strong enough to. And let me say this: we're talking about content. $100, like for The Witcher 3. Look, if the Witcher 3 was $100, those two expansions coming out for it would have been free. They would have been like, it's
Yeah.
$100. Blood and Wine
That's
and Hearts of Stone, that's free. Thank you guys for buying
Yeah.
our game. That's free. That's yours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
basically what it is. And yeah,
hmm
like I like Final Fantasy VII. You know how they was talking about it's gonna be episodic and all that.
if that
I'm
yeah
gonna explain. Yeah, that game. You know how long Final Fantasy VII is? That one game by itself, dude. You're not finishing that one sitting or your fifth sitting.
mm.
One mission by itself is probably like 2 hours. So people
That's how
explain
Metal
the
Gear is.
episodic.
I ain't lying.
So yeah, so if you paying
Metal
what you
Gear
call
5.
it, Final Fantasy VII is $100 or $60. Hey, I don't know, but all I'm saying is games like fighting games. See, then we're gonna have to talk about this deeply if you were talking about prices, because games like fighting games, I don't
Mm.
think they deserve to be $100 if they just fighting, if you just hitting each other. I
Yeah.
think it should be more immersive than just a fighting game. Like
Let
you
me
can
say
do
this:
more
sports
other than just fight.
games, sports, fighting, driving, football, stuff like that. That should be base 40, in my opinion.
No,
If
that's
this is
different. That's different.
the reason I say that is because let me say this, man. Sports games like Madden, that's unfair for it to be 60 every year. You're buying the same
Yeah.
game with maybe two more animations added. Like that's ripping off the consumer. Like they should really like sports games. If you want to make a sports game, understand you can sell that game at $60, dude. You should sell that at 40, and here is why: more
Oh,
people will
yeah.
buy it. People
Yeah,
like,
man.
hey man, hey, you want to play that game with me, son? $40 versus 60. Somebody gonna buy
Yeah.
that game for $40. They're like, oh, buy the
You
new
doing
Madden.
right.
$40?
Yeah, buy
Oh
a new
man,
Madden for
let me go buy the new Madden.
man. They should
$40?
just come out with Madden DLC every year, man. Forget
That's
all this.
exactly
Hey,
what
just
I'm saying.
download
Like,
the animations, man.
download the animations, exactly, and it could be like, that could be the DLC, right? Like those games can have their
Yeah.
DLC, but we're
Just call
talking
it
about
Madden.
call it Madden, exactly, and didn't
That's
have
it.
like
It could be a Destiny. It lasts for like 10 years or something
lasts for like 10
that.
years. Like, hey, get the 2015 DLC pack, or 2017, not 15, 2017 DLC pack to your Madden, and they'll give you
And
the
get the
new
2018
roster.
graphics pack. Yeah, new
Exactly,
graphics be enhanced and stuff like that
and
every year. The new graphics. That's it.
that's it. And they will make a fortune out of that, because then I would buy it. I would buy this Madden and say, wow, I'll buy it for $40, and the map packs are just $20, and you
See,
know what I mean? That's
That's what I'm
smart.
saying. See, if they had like, all right, like things like sports games, definitely. If they had like, okay, you're a little child playing football, they show you the gameplay and all that stuff like that, and you graduate and become an NFL. If they have a story mode like that and have all
Mm,
these things that you could do in Madden, yeah, then
yeah.
definitely I pay $100 for it. Yeah, that's
Oh,
worth it.
here it
But
is. Here it is.
just
You ever played Fight Night round 4?
champion,
Yeah, it had a
where they
storyline.
got the story.
Yeah.
That story was
See,
good for a
it
boxing game.
was. It was. I
It's like
finished
Creed
that.
up in there, bro.
Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Now look, what if they went even further and you can impregnate that girl and you can have a child, you could grow his life, and it'd be like Sims 3 generations up in that mug. Then that
See, they
makes
don't
sense
want
for
to do
that game to be 100. Now look, if a racing game is $100, let me say this: what would
RPG
justify?
boxing game.
You better be able to get out your car and go buy new cars at the shop. It better be Grand Theft Auto. Look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You on you basketball in 2K17 or 18, you can actually go on a tour bus with your people and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can
Show
invite
that.
your friends. You can go to their garage and see their cars and junk. And let me say
NBA
this
Live, he had
about
a cell phone. 06.
man. Let me say this about NBA. NBA games should do the same route, sell their game for
Yep.
40 and sell their base game for 40, and then every year you can buy a $20 upgrade that makes it the new year version of that Madden.
Right.
And
Hmm.
NBA should do the same thing. $20 upgrade to be that new NBA game. We're talking about 2K because NBA Live, let me say this about NBA Live. If they do that plan before 2K, then we can see them coming back, because right now 2K is
Yeah.
stumping them in the ground like Stone Cold Steve Austin the mugs in the face.
Yeah.
No good.
There's a game I did wanted to before we wrap this up. This is a game I wanted to speak about on this, the Order 1886. Now, games like that, if it's just only single player, I think those games like that should just be only 60 or 40.
A half a hundred, dude. Half a hundred. If they just single
50, all
player,
right.
but let me say this: if they single player and short, you know how some people gonna do that. If their games are base dollar 100, they just need 50 people to buy their game, and they got 500. You know what I mean? Like if they can get more than
Yeah.
50, I said 50 people to buy that game. No, that's more than 500. I mean five
Yeah.
people. They just need 5 people to buy that game, and that's more, and that's 500. But
Okay,
um.
but if you could do things after, the story, like you could
Let,
do if there's
let
like a
me say this
quest you could
about
do.
the Order 1886. If that game was $100, you better believe they would have had multiplayer in there. You better believe they would have had
Yeah.
4-player co-op, and like if you was the first dude through the door, you'll have a whole different cutscene than if another character walked through the door first. Boy, they'll have alternate endings up there, G, and they probably would
Yeah.
have added, like, you know how in the map looks so luscious and nice and stuff. Like they probably, like, you could go down that street right there. It'd be probably
Yeah, right,
open
right,
world
right.
on a slick. So, if games was $100, like Fresh said earlier, these developers, they'll be busting their face on that game. Even more so. They're like, oh, you get a hundred
All right.
dollars for this game?
That's true, but yeah, that's true. But ask your question. If games were $100, you think more games would be delayed than they are now?
Hmm.
That's the question right there that you got to ask yourself, because if they trying to go on new heights and new levels like that, which they're not on because they can't even get a $60 game right,
Let me say
so it's
this.
like,
Let me say this. What if they don't announce the game?
yeah,
See,
that's,
see,
hey,
the only
they
reason they
should do
get
that
delayed is
now.
because they announce it. See, the game
To
Fallout 4,
Yeah,
best example. They announced it in the same year it came out. Batman almost did
best
it
that was
too,
the
but
best thing. Yeah,
yeah, Batman Arkham Knight almost did that too, but they got delayed. So look, developers need to learn that right now. And if the game is $100, listen, that will be death to your game. If let's say we're in a world where games was $100 and in the division got announced and everybody's getting hyped and then they delay it 3 times, that's the death of it. People are gonna forget about it. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna put my $100 on something else. And you gotta understand, you know what I mean? Gamers will cope. People will complain. $100, man, I can't buy that. But listen, if that game, let me say this: if all the season pass was in it, if the content was right, and you could do stuff in that game that you can't do nowhere else, and if you're a gamer, you're gonna buy it. Now, it'll be a hard sell to your friend down the street. Hey, pick up this game. I don't got $100 for no video game, bro. You probably have less people gaming if games were $100, to be
yeah,
honest with you. And that's the
uh-huh.
that's the that's the place where, let's transition into cheap games. What if all games was $40 or 50? Let me say this, not 50, but let's say 40. If all games were 40, because my whole thing is when people say, man, games cost so much to make. My whole argument is, okay, it costs so much to make. If you get a million people to buy that game, then you make your money back.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, if that game was $40, you telling me people won't buy it? See, these guys, they're thinking, oh, our game not gonna sell a million, so whoever do buy it, we need to get that 60 from them. Nah, they need to have a mindset of, our game is good, son. We put our blood, sweat, and tears in this, and dude, people are gonna buy this game, and we're gonna get our money back. But people are so scared, and money rules people's lives, and people scared. You know what I mean? People scared that their
Yeah.
game won't succeed. So if they were selling it for 40, they would really have to have faith and really believe that, hey, we put our blood, sweat, and tears in this game. It's for, like, look at The
Right.
Witcher 3, for instance. Fresh said it earlier, $25 we got it for. Like, we bought The Witcher 3 for $25, and we bought Rainbow Six for $44. And guess which game is bigger? No duh, The Witcher 3. Son, The Witcher 3, those people sold them that game real low because they understand. people are going to buy their game because they put their blood, sweat, and tears, and they believe in their game. They believe in it. That's why they got Game of the
Yeah,
Year
that
in the
was smart.
VGAs. They believe in their game. Developers that charge 60 and then we play it and say, what the heck? Like, Ubisoft didn't believe in Watch Dogs. Let's just say it. And let me say this about the Division. Does Ubisoft believe in the Division? I hope so. Because we already talked about impressions of it, and we talked about what they could do, because that makes no sense. This is a rated M game, and you shoot NPCs and they don't die. It's rated M. Like, this is a
Um,
that's rated T right there, dude. That's a rated T
yeah.
thing. You can't shoot NPCs.
I rarely even hear people cussing in a game. So it's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's not a bad thing, but it's a rated M game, and tell
it's
me
a
the reasons
rated
why it's
M
rated M.
game. Don't make it rated
Yeah.
M if you're not going to go all the way. Like, Django, they went all the way in that movie. They said the N word. They were blowing people private parts off. And if y'all never saw
Like
Django,
Deadpool.
let me say this.
Deadpool
I ain't
did it
talking about
right.
Deadpool, man. I'm talking about a movie that I've seen. And all I'm saying is, if you gonna bear the rating, go look. I ain't saying show breasts and sex scenes. I'm just saying at a post-apocalyptic world, like everybody's for themselves, man. If an NPC trying to get some canned food from you, you should be able to give that canned food and then shoot them right back. Look, I'm not trying to be no mean dude. I'm just trying to be realistic. If the vision is set in, oh
hmm
man, Fresh blew my mind when he said that because I was
That's
like,
just,
you
no.
right, it's rated them and you
I'm gonna
can't
tell you
kill
why, man. I'm gonna tell you
NPCs.
why. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you why. Because even now, man, even when people talk about PS5 coming out, people still talking about next gen graphics. Let me tell you this: graphics are important, but I'm gonna tell you what's important. Detail is
Mm,
always important when it comes to games. That's
yes.
what I want. When it comes to next gen, I don't care about graphics anymore.
Mm,
Because like what I seen in Division, we was talking about being in the car and being in first person and stuff like that. I think detail is
yes.
definitely the number one thing that we should be
Mm.
worrying about now. Graphics, they
Yeah.
got it down pat. They got the water down pat. They got snow down pat. Clothes, the physics, they got that already.
Mm.
Now we just want detail. We just want to go in some buildings, here and there and stuff like that. Add
Yeah.
detail into your games now. That's it.
Yeah, if the game was 720p, let me say this: if the game was 720p, running at 30, and you was able to do everything that we're talking about, shoot NPCs, get in cars, go in first person, hold your breath, press a button to hold your breath when people walk past the car, and
Yeah.
be able to blow up the cars if you need to, like put a trip mine by it, and then when a group of bad guys walk past, and let me say this: I know it's an RPG. I know it's an RPG. But why does it need to be an RPG? Um, wouldn't it be just as satisfying, Fresh, if you can a headshot was a headshot, and a headshot for you was a headshot. It was hard like that. The difficulty was like that. If they got a headshot off you, you dead. See, that's why I look back at the Dark Souls
No,
series and
no.
Bloodborne.
See, that's why I don't want to spoil it for you, but like that's gone. When people say, "Oh, I just want to kill them," and like, why can't I shoot them in the head and they die? Um, this ain't no spoiler. So when you level up and you
Mm.
do that, like, cause me, I got an M1 carbine sniper. I use that all the time in gunfights. Now, every single time I shoot them in the head, they're gone. No
I,
matter what level they are, they're gone. Like
let me say
that's
this.
only they got spots. You notice they got squares on their body, right?
Yes.
That's indicating on where you can shoot. You can shoot them in the chest, the heart, and all stuff like that. Apparently, the head is the main thing you can shoot, and that will definitely kill them. Now, when you at low level, you can't do that.
But
Can't.
let me say this. Let me say this. Levels. Forget levels, bro. Like in
Oh,
real
you talking
life,
about just a regular like
in
payday,
real,
something like
I'm
that.
talking about real life. If a post academic happens, if someone gets shot in the head, they could be the worst shot in the world. If they could manage to hit a head shot, that dude is dead. It could be a veteran soldier versus a kid down the street, and they coming out of Walmart post apocalyptic or whatever, and he shoot that dude in the head. If you shoot that soldier in the head, that soldier's dead. He has all the
Yeah.
training, and that soldier is dead. Why not have it like that? Like that's why I appreciate games like Bloodborne and The Last of Us. Like those games, they are real. You know what I mean?
Now, I was about to
Like
say Bloodborne,
the
but when
reason
you
I say
slice
Bloodborne
somebody
is
and
because if you hit somebody with your attack, they're gonna feel the hurt. You know, they're gonna get pain, and if they hit you, you're gonna feel the attack. It's like no cheap stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you hit your
no,
enemy, they're gonna either die or they can withstand it, but they're not gonna
No,
get no
man.
overshield and become this boss mode and like
No, brother.
I'm just saying at the end of the day,
Brother, you gotta
difficult.
play. I think you should play the game a little bit more, because I want to tell you some stuff, but I don't want to spoil it for you. Like, I
I'm
don't
just
want to be
saying,
like,
why
because there's
does it?
things you're going to get. You're going to get something,
I
and that's
know,
going
I
to
know, I
prevent
know.
all of that.
Let me
And
say
it,
this.
and it
Let me say
don't make
this.
sense.
I would have been more excited for the game if it was realistic. I know it wants to be a Destiny
Oh,
or,
like
or
Rainbow Six
MMO.
Siege.
Like,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
like, why
Like
not?
real life. Okay, like real life. Like, oh, so I get shot in the arm or the head and or the back.
If you get shot
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
arm,
yeah,
you gotta hold your arm, you gotta recharge, you gotta
yeah.
like. Why
I
can't that game be
understand.
like
I
a
understand.
lot of people play
Okay.
Spec Ops: The Line? It's okay. This game is rated M. See, I wouldn't be talking like this if it was rated T. Like the reason I'm not mad at bullet sponges in Destiny. It's a rated T game, and you know what I mean. That realism
Oh
shouldn't
yeah,
exist in
it's
a rated
fake.
T game. It's
Yeah,
fake. But in the Division, son, it's rated M. So if you get shot in the
it's
arm,
leaning to more realistic. Yeah,
yeah, dude,
it's leaning
like
to more
Spec Ops:
realism.
The Line. I never played that game, but a lot of people say in that game,
Oh, Spec Ops the Line? Yo, I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
all I'm saying is a lot of people say that that game is realistic. Like, you know what I mean, as far as
Yeah, that game is
shooting goes.
crazy.
And all I'm
That
saying
game is
is,
crazy.
yeah, man. And all I'm saying is, why the division can't be like that? Why does it have to be an RPG? You know what I mean? Like, I understand
Um,
it wants to go against that market, the MMO market, but it could be an MMO. Just picture this: you in a dark zone, somebody somebody caps you, shoot you. Okay, they hit a headshot on you, you die, and you like, what the heck happened? And they show you the kill cam, and they show who did it. They show where he was, and from satellite, because this is Division. They got technology. They show you the satellite on who did it, and
yeah.
dude, you know how cautious you'll be in that game, son. You'll be moving inches. You'll be peeking around corners, looking down sight. You'll be moving like son. If I get
It,
shot in the arm, and just picture this. You know how in the Division you got groups of people, they jumping jacks in the dark zone, and then as soon as somebody call the helicopter, all hell busts loose and everybody just son, I was one of those
you know
dudes.
what?
I was waiting for this dude
Yeah.
to call his helicopter, and then I said, man, forget this. I started shooting at him, and everybody just started shooting and bust out, because I was like, man, it's too
Yeah.
quiet. So I just made it loud.
That'd be cool. What if yeah, that's cool. Then I was thinking about like, what if you can actually drive in that game? Like, and I'm
Okay,
gonna tell you
stop.
why. Like okay, no, listen, like you a medic. You gotta go to
Mm,
the, like you like, oh, I need your help. Now I'm driving to you. I'm healing all these people that's on my team and stuff like that, and I'm playing as a medical guy. Not
mm,
nobody with a gun, but with somebody I gotta take the bullet wound out and patch you up and then leave out my ambulance and y'all gonna fight again. Like
yeah,
I'm just going deep with it. But
yeah.
if I was like, if we was in gun battle and he was like, Fresh, I just got shot. Come patch me up a little bit. And then they actually show me wrapping your leg up and stuff like that. And then we go back into the fight. That'd be cool. Vice versa. That'd be crazy. I understand what you're saying, but like you understand, like they
It's
not. That's
not
what I
that
mean.
game. It's not
Detail.
that kind of game.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
definitely not that
It's not
kind of
that kind
game.
of game. It wants to be an
Yeah,
RPG. I'm just saying that the division missed an opportunity to be super different. We already got games that do bullet sponges. You know what I mean? We already got games that use guns and do RPG elements with guns. We do not have a game that's like an MMO that is super realistic on console. We do not have that game. That game does not
yeah,
exist
true.
yet. That game does not.
Yeah,
The
not yet.
closest is The Last of Us remastered. That's the closest game we have that's super realistic, that's post-apocalyptic or whatever, and a lot of players can play it online. And each match feels like a story. But before we go further,
Uh,
I need to
uh,
make sure we're
uh,
recording fresh. If I don't make
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
then we lose it. So we'll be right back. Hold on. This up because we're getting way far in this, and the topic is gaming price, and we jumped on the division because said, when me and Fresh get on the topic, we just blow up, and I hope y'all enjoyed that little division feedback, and I hope Ubisoft um realizes that at the end of the day they don't need to be that super hardcore realistic game. They're going a different
Yeah.
route. Just take those other suggestions, put detail in the world. This game is rated M. You should be able to kill NPCs. You should be able to see blood on snow when you run around. Like Rainbow Six does it. If you move around when you're bleeding out on Rainbow Six, a blood trail is there. And this is the beta.
Yeah.
This is not the final game.
I,
But first, what
I
you
just
wanted
want
to say?
yeah, I just wanted to say, remember when you were saying, can, do, they ain't believe in Watch Dogs and you don't think they do, do you think they gonna believe in the Division?
I hope they
My
believe in the
question
division. Yeah.
is,
hmm
my answers to that is, I think they believe more in Ghost Recon Wildlands than they do the Division. That's all I'm saying.
Man, don't
Because
even say that,
that's
man.
listen, you gotta understand. Some of these games that, Rainbow Six and, Assassin's Creed not coming out this year, so
Mm.
that's pretty good. Reason why is because they know they got so many games coming out and they can't, the server is gonna be crazy on they box, man. Can't be doing that too much. So
Mm.
reason why I said that is because, man, these games they releasing right now is probably stepping stools for their best game that's coming out, which is probably Ghost Recon. That's all I'm saying. They probably
Let
just
me
trying
say
to
this:
get a higher budget.
the division was supposed to be that. The
I
division was
know,
supposed to
man. That's
be
what I'm
their
saying.
coup de grace, however you say it.
The big kahuna, man, when it comes to these
Whoa.
titles, bro. They don't want to. They don't, look, Ubisoft, man. I don't know what they're planning. It's probably a different developer, part of Ubisoft. Montreal, I think, is working on Wildlands. But
Oh, yeah.
different companies. So uh, somebody's running the division. There's probably hundreds of people working the division right now. That's good. But
And,
I know
and,
you want to say
and,
something else out there.
and look, I know a lot of people jump on Bungie for over promising, but that's because they believe in their game. They're over
Yeah.
promising to let you know this is where we want to be at someday. We letting you know that we're passionate about this game. We're gonna stick in it for 10 years. The division isn't showing that same. Ubisoft isn't showing that same thing with the division. My hope for the division is that it does last a long time. That expansions happen to expand the story, expand New York, because New York, right in the game is big, but it could be bigger. It doesn't even include Central Park. And my whole hope that what doesn't happen is that the map expands and leaves people who don't get expansions. Like, let's say this. You know how right now if you go in out the beta zone, it'll say 17 and older or whatever, and say something like that, and it's like, oh, you better get back in the beta zone. You ever did that? I know I did, but have you ever did that, Fresh?
No, yeah, no. I have what you call it though. I was on that today actually. There was a place that reminded me of New York, and I was like, hold up, that's this thing right here. Then I tried to go there. They actually let me through. I was
Mm.
surprised because I was with my friend and he crossed the path. First I crossed it and it said 765. I was counting down. I'm like, oh, we can't go through there. So he tried it. He stood there for like 3 seconds. He was like, no, it actually works. So I'm like, all right, well, can we do it on all of them like that? So we tried to do one. It was like, I thought it was Central Park, but it wasn't. It was like this thing where it's like some museum or whatever. So I
Mm.
tried to go down there, downstairs at the escalators, and definitely they sent me right back to the beginning. I'm like, oh man, I get punished for trying to leave the beta area. But I'm gonna say this right now. There's areas in that game where I know Central Park is definitely down the street from that because it looks so familiar. It's like, okay, I think something's down the street from that, but I
No, no,
can't go there.
about Central Park, a little piece of it might be in there, but if you look at the map, like the not the beta map, but the whole map, they have the whole map and then they have the beta map in the whole
Yeah,
map. Like they lock in that, you know what I mean? Like they
they locked
probably,
it.
it's locked behind maybe invisible walls. But my whole
Yeah,
hope
but
is
yeah.
that when it expands, when it eventually does expand, like maybe in 2 years we'll have the whole Manhattan map, the whole thing.
Oh, oh yeah. Okay, now I don't know if you remember. And remember on at E3 2013 when they was doing that little thing, right? And at the end of the video, the girls they was looking over the bridge, and the girl was like, "You want to go over there?" Remember she said that at the end of the video. She said, "We're gonna go over there later," meaning that they probably will expand the game, and that definitely will. It's possible because of the fact that over the bridge is different regions, like Boston,
Detroit.
and other places like that, Detroit and stuff. Like I'm gonna say this, that is going to happen. It's going
I
to happen.
know it will.
Like
I know it will, but I'm just saying, if you don't buy the DLC or expansion, you're gonna be going across the bridge and they're gonna have a red line for that guy who didn't, and you're gonna be like, "Hey, why you
hey,
stopped?" And he gonna be like, "I ain't buy it yet." Look,
that's what I'm saying.
at the end of the
That's what
day,
I'm saying.
dude,
Just like Destiny, when I ain't about to Taken King, I couldn't do certain things or get certain
well, you couldn't
weapons.
go to the dreadnought, but
Yeah, see?
maps that were already there, you know what I mean? you can
But
go.
I can't play certain game modes, my brother.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I know, but look
That's what
at
I'm
games
saying.
like
That
The Witcher
hurts.
3. Look at the game like The Witcher 3 or games like Grand Theft Auto. That whole map, all right, and you can go all over the place. And if GTA or Rockstar ever adds expansion, of course, probably if it's a new map, then you need to buy the expansion for the new map. And I'm not saying the Division map isn't big enough. We have to play the game even more so to figure out if
Yeah.
it's big enough. But
We play.
look,
I'm
look,
playing in the beta area for 30 hours. If I'm playing the beta area for 30 hours, then you know I'm gonna have fun in the whole map. It's gonna be
okay,
ridiculous.
you know it's gonna be ridiculous once all of Manhattan is open and then Detroit and all them.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
anyway,
saying. Like, and they
anyway.
got different factions, my brother. All right, so I know we wrapping it up.
Look, we gotta wrap it up because look, I talk about game prices, and I know we went back to the Division because look, Division is hot right now. All right, we went back to it because
Yeah.
we want to let y'all know that these developers, like, they're showing us that they don't believe in their games, and we hope that Ubisoft believe in their game. And look, we know CD Projekt Red they believe in Witcher 3. They could sell that game for $2 and still believe in it, but they didn't. I'm glad they didn't because that game is worth, like, the GTA, in my opinion. GTA 5 is $100 game. Freaking Witcher 3 is $100 game. Last of Us Remastered, that's $100 game. Even though it's not open world, that story, you know what I mean? That's better than it. I'm not saying it's better than any movie, but that's as good as any movie, any like
Yeah.
Oscar-winning movie. If the Last of Us story was in movie format and done by actors, respected actors, that movie would have been on, like, in Oscars. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That would have been like one of the best
Well, hold on.
movies ever
What
made.
game?
I'm talking about Last of Us Remastered or
Yeah.
Last of Us.
I think GTA would have been like $200 for real, because like all the DLC that came with it, man. You know
Mm.
that's like 200
Let
added
me
up.
say this. You're right. GTA, not 200, but 150. Like, that game,
No, that's
it,
200.
no,
You
no,
need
no, man. That's
$30
too.
for every expansion, man. Like
Okay, all right, check this
Heist
out.
by itself. Come on, man. Like
You're right. That's a whole nother $100. I'm just letting out.
game modes, and they added houses and stuff like that and cars.
Look,
Come
I'm
on,
gonna say
man.
150. I'm gonna just say 150. Listen,
It'd
if
be a solid
GTA
price.
5, because remember it was $60. We're jumping 200 from 60. Come on, no, 150, 150 for everything. Not look. We did get everything for free now, mind you, but I'm just saying maybe the heist would pay out more if it was 150,
Yeah.
and you can buy, because right now in GTA there's so much stuff, but me and Fresh are broke with GTA money. Now we could use our real money to
Yeah.
get more money, but ain't nobody got time for that. So look, look,
Yachts, man. Look, that's what I'm saying.
man, yachts and freaking customized yacht and new apartments. Dude, GTA is amazing right now. I just can't have fun in it because my dude broke. The lowrider DLC made my dude break. So I should have never did nothing on that stupid lowrider DLC,
You would have
son.
still been broke now.
Oh, nah, I wouldn't. I would have had something. But yeah, the yacht would have got me. Let me say this: I can still jump on Heist and play Heist like I do Destiny and probably be good. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up this video, guys. You guys who stuck with us long enough to hear our ramblings at the end, please leave a like, subscribe to our channels, and like I said, you know what I mean? Like, man, these games. We're gonna keep talking about these games. Stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
Fresh, tell the people who you are. Well, they already know who you are, but tell the people where they can find you before we go.
PrinceThaGamer. Find me at PrinceThaGamer. Is THA, not THE. You already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe to my man Raw channel. Rate, comment, subscribe to my channel. My videos. We got more videos coming up. Got videos coming up. The new puzzle game that just came out called The Witness. That game is absolutely beautiful. But yeah, guys, thanks for having me, Raw. It's been fun. Tomorrow's the last day of the Division, January 31st. And if you haven't played it, play it right now. And
yes, sir. Enjoy. And this has been Raw coming at you raw. That's all she wrote, y'all. Pieces.